I want to make a delay plugin, but before we do that, we need to answer a very important question. How exactly does delay remember audio? Welcome to day 3.5 of MicroDSP, where we make tiny projects to help ourselves learn digital signal processing. Now, a delay plugin doesn't just create sound out of nowhere. It takes incoming audio, stores it somewhere, and then plays it back later. And that somewhere is memory. How we move through that memory changes everything, and there are two main ways a delay can store samples: array indexing and circular buffers. Let's imagine the simplest possible delay. Audio comes in one sample at a time, and we store that sample in an index. With array indexing, this is pretty straightforward. The first incoming sample goes in index 0, the next in index 1, and so on and so forth. And as time moves forward, that array fills up in order. To get that delay functionality, you would just need to write a block of code that says play that sample from 20,000 samples ago. And that works fine as long as those samples still exist. However, a delay plugin isn't a fixed length recording. It's running live in real time and potentially forever. And with simple array indexing, you eventually hit the end of the array. At this point, you have three really bad options: stop writing more samples, allocate more memory, or shift everything over to make space. None of those are good for real-time audio, which is where circular buffers come in. A circular buffer still uses an array, but treats it rather as a loop. A buffer is essentially a chunk of memory set aside to temporarily store audio samples for later use. So kind of like short-term memory for sound. This will hold past samples so we can play them back after a certain amount of time. And when you reach the end of a circular buffer, you don't stop, but rather you wrap back to the beginning and keep writing. Old samples automatically get overwritten by new ones, and now the overall delay system is significantly more elegant. You write the current input sample at one position, you read a past sample at another position, and both positions move forward together, looping endlessly around the buffer. This helps prevent memory growth, random copying, and inefficient sample shifting, which is why it's used in pretty much every real delay plugin. So why are we even talking about array indexing in the first place? Well, it's primarily the mental model that makes delays understandable and is also easier to visualize and debug. So essentially, array indexing is only beneficial conceptually. And that's why we're splitting this up. Day 4 will focus on array indexing, how a delay works when time is finite and controlled, and day 5 will focus on circular buffers, how real delay plugins run forever without falling apart. Overall, a delay is just stored audio plus time, array indexing is a delay in a straight line, and circular buffers is a delay in a loop. I'll see y'all in day 4. Stay wired.